All right. Good evening, my bright investor friends. It's been a couple weeks since everyone went off for the holiday season, and I expected tonight was going to be a light evening while folks get back into the swing of things. We'll have again on Saturday, of course, per usual. But I want to say thank you all for being here. And Jason, Paulina, if you would love to hear how you guys have been spending the holidays and how it went for you. If you've had the time and ability to unmute or show your darling faces, love to hear from you. How have you been?
I can start. Hi, I
Yeah, go ahead.
have been well. I can put the video too. Let's see. Um, there.
Perfect.
It's been good. I'm closing on one of the properties that we analyze.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes,
That's
in 12 days.
awesome. That is so
Um,
cool.
yes. So that's kind of funny. And then I actually had a question for you. I'm looking at another property, but it's abroad. Um,
Okay.
and
Well, let's see here. We can try and figure it out. So tell me more about this property.
so the one abroad.
Yeah.
So it's a tiny, tiny studio in Paris. Um, and I think the price is very low because it's just very small and a
Okay.
little bit odd. Mhm.
Okay.
So, um, so we were just thinking of maybe just trying to get it, but it's extremely hard to find a comparable.
Sure. That
So
makes
we just did
sense.
like Airbnbs just to see what it looks like and or for how they are rented for. That's the only thing we did. And I need to call the person for the apartment just to get, I don't even know the exact address.
Okay.
Um, so that's where we are. Mhm.
Okay. So what's the primary purpose in buying the property? As a rental, as this is a
It
vacation
will,
home. When you're not there, you'll rent it out. What's the goal?
it would be just an Airbnb, and once in a while we would probably go there just
Okay.
because, yeah, we have family
Sure.
in Europe. Mhm.
Okay. Um, so for something like this, I would probably start working backwards. So start from the price. I'm not sure what the debt situation looks like for buying properties in Paris. What kind of loans are available. Or if you'd be buying it in cash. I'm not sure what your options are, but I'm gonna apply an American mentality to this and kind of work backwards here. So first off, you're saying the price is low. I would start working backwards from what is that monthly debt payment going to be? What is your utility going to be if you operate it as a long-term rental? So I'm not sure what the norm is for who pays for utilities in Paris, but I'm going to again just apply my American, mindset on this. So if we say that you're paying for water, sewer, and trash, and then the tenant is paying for electric and gas, okay, great. Again, let's apply our usual numbers for uh, holding back 5 to 10% for maintenance, 5 to 10% for CapEx, 5 to 10% for vacancy on a long-term rental standpoint. Um, then whatever the property tax is, if that's figured into the mortgage or not, and whatever
No,
your
it's
insurance
not.
is going to look like. Oh, go ahead.
So the only thing I know is the HOAs. It has HOAs and the taxes.
Okay, you have the HOA and the taxes. Okay, so we can add those things up, put in together. Um, and then once we have that information, so the information we'd be using in the Bright Investor daily analyzers anyways, that's when I'd see what is our all-in monthly cost. So if that's going to be $1,600 or $2,200, but what is that cost going to be on a monthly basis? And for sake of conversation, let's say that upon looking at all of that, that our monthly cost is going to be $1,800. This is a long-term rental. Then we should go on to Airbnb, look at what properties similar to that one are renting for on a, hey Chester, how you doing? See what properties are renting for on a nightly basis there, and then use our estimates, which again, I recommend, 45% vacant for most Airbnbs and looking on using an average of about 150 to 200 bucks a night. Paris probably you can probably get a premium in Paris and probably going to be some higher rates. But that's what I want to start looking as if I were knowing the cost that you know right now and looking at similar comps for the rents for Airbnb there, that's when I'd start saying if this property is only occupied 45 or sorry 55% of the time at this rate, are you profiting as an Airbnb? Are you breaking even as an Airbnb? Are you still negative as an Airbnb?
Yeah,
And
I
going
would
from there.
at 55, I would still be negative.
Okay, you'd still be negative at 55% occupancy. Okay. And
Yeah.
so for at least at least nationwide, in the US, the average occupancy right now is about 55, maybe 60%. Some markets can be higher, and of course, some properties can be outstanding. At 50, if you're going to be negative 55%, I'm a little concerned because we also then have to factor in your cleaning costs, right? You're also at that point, you're also the one paying for electric and gas and Wi-Fi usage for most Airbnbs.
Right.
So because at that point you're catering not just to a Parisian audience, you're catering to a potentially global audience. So it sounds like if this thing, even as an Airbnb at 55% occupied, is still going to be a no, can you happen to share
Hello.
what occupancy you need to be at for it to make you money?
Um, well, at let's see, I would need to be around 20, a vacancy about 20, 15,
Okay,
20.
so you need to be 80% occupied to break even.
Yes.
Okay. From my perspective, that is a higher risk deal. It
Yeah.
is something where, so as a pure, from a purely analytic numbers
Ah,
perspective, based off
mhm.
what we know about it, it's not one that I would pursue for just the investment.
Yeah.
But if there's something here where you value it for a vacation place for your own family, for being able to visit it and be able to own a place where you can go visit your family more consistently and have that place there for you, there's an emotional return. There's really a return on emotion. Um, yeah, Chester, I agree. So from an investment perspective, I would say probably not the best moneymaker. And
Uh-huh.
as a high level, and whatever that delta is, if we assume however much money you would have to be spending every month, so if we assume 50% occupancy and you need 80%, whatever that amount of money, whatever that amount of money you're going to be losing every month is, maybe it's $300, $500, $1,000. The question that we had to ask ourselves is that amount of money worth paying every month to have this place in our back pocket, plus the
Yeah.
management component?
Right.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
Yeah, I think we're still trying to figure it out, all the fees in the sense of the management, because it's different.
Yep.
Uh, it would be higher. And then like insurance, we have no idea how much would that be.
Yeah.
So we're still looking at those things. But
Okay.
we're trying to see if we could just break even, or if we have to put very, very little per month, it would be worth it for us.
Okay. Gotcha. So that's great to know. So, um, yeah, once you have some insurance estimates and once you have a better idea of what the management would look like, let's have another conversation about it.
Mhm.
And if the number comes down to, you know what, we're going to spend less than $300 a month to have this place, great. Then I think we pull the trigger. But then just be fully prepared that it will be it'll be a certain level of maintenance and management, and it's not necessarily going to be a moneymaker. But for you, I know there's another level of value here in this property, so can't overstate that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. No, the management fee is 20%, so it's quite high.
Woo! Yeah,
Yes.
that'll hurt. Yeah, that's something there. Unless you have a family member. I mean, you said you have family there. I don't know if they'd be interested in managing something like this. I don't know.
No, no.
Probably not. Okay. I always ask, like, you never know. You never know.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's significant. 20% off the top
But
is
if
tough
they
right
do
there.
absolutely everything, from, yeah. So we would, yeah, we need to call and, hey, like, could we take things out? And yes, they would manage the cleaning, like, the passing the keys, absolutely everything.
That's great. That
Yeah.
could be worth it right there. Well, I'm interested. I want you to keep me posted on this deal. And let me know what other numbers you come up with and what other things you find out about it.
Uh-huh.
Um, And of course, when it's available, let me know because I want to go to Paris. I'd like to
There.
I like to be in Paris. That
Yeah.
sounds fun. Uh, but yeah, and I'm really happy to hear that the property that we use BrightInvestor Analyze, and you're under contract for and you're closing on. That's awesome. That's
Uh-huh.
uh that's why we do this thing, people. It's great. I might use that actually. I'll probably post that on the market or on our social channels if that's okay with you, Paulina. I'd love to talk about
Yes,
that. That'd be awesome.
sure, absolutely. No problem. And yeah, so then now I'm stuck because I have not looked at the video where you did a seller finance, and um,
Mm,
I was trying to see that I needed to analyze something. I just have not gotten to it. It was another single house, but it was seller
gotcha.
finance, and you had to put 15 of down payment, which
Okay.
was 8 to the seller and 7 to whoever was doing this.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I think we still have those links out there for the seller finance. So you're saying this is another property you're looking at right now, or when you have under contract, or what's the situation with that project?
Yes, I was looking at it now. I will need to look at the address and the information. I don't necessarily have it right in front of me.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah, but yeah,
We're here every Wednesday and Saturday. We'll have plenty of opportunities to talk more deals. I've got some offers out myself right now, so we'll see how they work. I have an offer on a property out that was they wanted 225 and I'm offering 180. So we'll see. It's always a always fun. So right now it's our time. This is our time to do it.
yeah, I'm trying to think what was the name of these people. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, so I have been very active on BrightInvestor, so I've been using
Awesome.
it. Yeah, taking advantage of the holidays. I was looking. I keep looking into still I can sense, and it is very useful because I have a lot. I have two kids that are little,
Mm,
so this is very fast for me. It's very helpful. I can go and analyze a lot of deals very fast.
that's I know actually my co-founder Drew is here tonight and I know he's in the back. He's probably just smiling right now hearing you say that. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
He's thinking like,
100%. That's
yep.
that's exactly what we've been harping on is how do we make it faster and faster and faster. So it's awesome.
Ah, that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. And I'll go into my typical announcement phase for some of the new stuff. I know we've already done like two releases already, last like month or so. We have another one coming out this weekend, is the plan. Another upgrade to the system. We have a lot of cool stuff. Gotta remember what you guys haven't seen yet already. Um, we are just starting some work on that. Just starting some work on being able to skip trace LLCs and BrightInvestor. So that's not coming quite this weekend, but we're getting ready for that. Um, you will now have you guys remember at the top of BrightInvestor when you open a property and there's the property details and the quick insights and the in the three sections up top. Yeah, you can now edit those. So all that data is now customizable, and you now have the ability to edit sale comp data. You're welcome, Paulina. Absolutely, my pleasure. So now when you open up the sales comp section, you'll be able to, if you click on a comp and you click the address and it opens a Zillow link and one of the sales comps, you want to tweak the data on it, you can now completely customize every sales comp. So now pretty much everything inside of BrightInvestor, you can get in there and you can tweak yourself. Oh, I'm happy about this. You guys, the people in this room, were the ones that gave us the idea for adding the icons for when you see a property, when you took a note on that property, and when you edit it. Do you guys remember that? Some of you who are here, if you guys remember that conversation where you guys asked for icons, well, that's coming live this weekend, which is exciting. So that was directly from you guys going right in product. So that's coming live. Let's see here. You can now a couple other minor issues, minor updates, upgrades that we're making there. We have let's see here. Oh man. whole lot of tiny tweaks and bug fixes. One, two, three, four, five,
Photos.
six,
I
seven, eight,
want
nine.
to
Oh,
mention that one.
what's up?
The property photos.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. We now have property photos, like actual interior property photos. Thanks, Drew. Forgot about that. So now when you open up a property in BrightInvestor, we have that like one street photo. Well, we've been able to connect to MLSs, and now you can actually click through photos inside BrightInvestor and see photos of the interior for most properties. We don't have it for everyone because even Zillow's have for everybody, but we added those photos in for free. So you're welcome. Just gonna keep giving you guys more free stuff. And oh darn, Donato keeps giving us free stuff. Jeez. Um, let's see. We added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 user feedback on a couple tweaks, a couple bugs here and there. Some people were having a couple issues on a few things. We did fix 17 tiny tweaks, just fun. And then upcoming, geez, some calculators are coming live. Not quite this weekend, but the weekend after. We're working on your guys' crime pin legend. And let's see here. Oh, we've updated the loan info. So now the loan, when you look up a loan, will tell you who the lender's name was, what their interest rate was, and what kind of loan it was. Do let's see here. We made it easier to download lists now. We have added a toggle when you're in sales comps. Sometimes we'll use the property sold value, and sometimes we'll have the estimated sales price if it's a non-disclosure state. We've now included a toggle where you can turn that on and off. So if you only want to look at properties that have had, if you only want to look at properties that have a first sale piece of information, or if you only want to look at properties that have everything, you can toggle that. And I think that's everything coming out this weekend. Stuff that's coming out later is that just makes it I'm looking at my list right now. Um oh, screen sizing. So we added in the ability for skip tracing. Some of you guys were having small issues where you'd skip trace and you couldn't see the phone numbers. So we added in a scroll bar there, so that's fixed. But now we're also going through and basically redesigning everything to make sure that it fits perfectly on the 30,000 types of screens that you guys use this on. So iPads or desktop or PC or what have you. We're working at some screen sizing stuff. We are working on the crime pin legend then, a couple more calculators, and this is exciting. It's a big one. Big one. Yes, Chester, you're side by side Drew, I think at the catch up with you on that one. The ability to filter properties by stories is coming as well. The other one we're working on, which is a big one, is crime data. So we have recently made some developments on being able to bring in crowdsourced crime data into BrightInvestor. So we're working on this, but essentially being able to see crimes that the police haven't even filed yet, but 911 calls have been made. So basically, the value of this is that we will be able to crowdsource data from a lot more places, including everyday folks, so that we can have wider coverage of our crime data. Because just last week we added St. Louis, Miami, and Sarasota, somewhere else. Yeah, Chester, kind of like ways for crime. So we're working on that to like just expand our crime data. It's a lift, so we're working on it. But we have some that's pretty excited about that. So those are all things that are coming out or about to come out, and all the stuff I'm not going to talk about yet because we'll do it eventually. But a bunch of upgrades that are coming out, and the plan, as a reminder for that, is we should have all of those, the first wave of those upgrades coming out this weekend. Let's see here. Drew, we're gonna make sure that you can tell which one's crowdsourced versus straight from police station. Yeah, we have a whole thing going on. So hopefully over the last month or two, you guys have seen BrightInvestors continue to get better and better, and all the things that you're asking us for to improve are getting better and better. So I hope you guys have seen that. I hope you see that we're listening to those things, we're implementing your feedback because it's exactly what we want to be doing as the company continues to grow. So that's kind of completes the new version upgrades. I do have an announcement. I'm going to make something special we've been working on for about 3 months now that I'll announce when we're just about to finish up for the evening. But I'm going to hold that back for just a minute. And I want to go ahead and open up to the floor time for questions about deals, about markets, about BrightInvestor, about Paris, about anything you guys have going on. I want to go ahead and open the floor up. Please let me know what you're thinking, how I can help, and let's see if I can add some value. Or I can keep talking. I have no problem doing that.
Hey, can you hear me now, Donato?
Hey, Chester, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Happy New Year, to you. Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, that was the one thing, like I know, about the side by side, multifamilies that I know I'm not trying to like make it to be like I'm trying to be annoying or a pest or whatever, but that was the one thing, and that was why I brought that up. And I don't know if it's, uh, possible, and I guess this is just really kind of asking, similar to how you've already got the breakdown of the data of, hey, here's how many single families, here's how many duplexes, triplexes, so
Mhm.
on and so forth, are in each zip code, whether that is something that, in terms of granularity, you could also try to be able to include, or if it's just something where it's more kind of like, hey, within Bright Investor itself, it's like a switch or toggle or filter to be able to say, hey, only show me, um, you know, properties that are either listed as multifamily or, I don't know how to be able to better say it than that, but like, maybe just clicking one of the, multifamily buttons and then being able to say, I only want to look at properties with, and so this is, I guess, kind of a question to you also in posing it. Presumably, now, like outside of, like, properties that have pictures, but like presumably that would be data that would be essentially self-reported, meaning like a an agent or realtor would actually input that data into the MLS, and that would be something that you could draw from. Because I'm trying to think like how would it be easy to kind of help so that it's not like, you've got to do like 100 million things just for this one thing, you know what I mean?
Could I ask real quick just for some clarification? Because I'll be the one actually more so talking to the developers about this. Um, are you saying for when searching for deals or when searching for markets, or are you saying kind of two different features here? Like one would be the where you're comparing a bunch of zip codes and you're trying to see which have more single story multifamily, and then the other one being like when you're searching for deals, just saying I only want single story duplexes or something like that. Is that kind of, am I
So
missing?
it's the I hate having to say it like this, but the answer is kind of yes to the like. So it'd be specifically for me. I would be looking like in Detroit. So, like a few zip code examples. Like I would be looking at like 48204 or 48221 or 48238. So at that sort of, quote unquote bird's eye level view from the zip code perspective, I guess I'd want to see like, hey, you know, which zip code would be, ideal is not the best word, but it's the only one I can think of right now for looking at multifamilies, comparatively speaking. Like, let's say 48204 has 25% out of, 10,000 properties, 25% of them are duplexes. So then from there, be able to say, okay, within that high level data to say, you know, 10% of those 2,500 properties are side by sides, something like that. And if not,
Okay.
then like being able to kind of like on that almost quote unquote more granular level than say, okay, hey, now I see all of these duplexes, but then use a filter to say, okay, now only show ones with one level. You see what I mean?
Yep. No, gotcha, 100%. Okay, so yeah, with the property searching itself, I know that that is a filter we can add in there. The hard part is somewhat like what you mentioned, is a lot of that depends on if the realtors have ever put that information into an MLS before, or if the
Okay.
key that zip code is in, if they've reported that information with their housing data. So typically, yes, we should be able to add a filter for there. It'll just depend on certain zip codes may not include any of that kind of information. And so then when you're looking for properties, if they're not currently on market or haven't been on market within the last, 10 to 15 years, then a lot of times there's a low chance that it'll have the stories data available. So every now and then you'll open up a property and you'll see where it says like stories and it'll just say NA. That's kind of where that's coming from. But we are working on adding that filter in. It's not a super complicated thing. For the other piece on the comparing zip codes, I'll check in with our data sources. I'll shoot you an email so we can talk more about this offline after I've done a little bit of research into it. But I think I understand what you're saying there.
Okay. Cool. I'll be right back. I got somebody at the door, and I don't want to leave them out in the cold because we had a recent snowfall. So I'll be right back.
No problem. Look at that fun, rare guest appearance by co-founder Drew McCluskey. Good times. All right. I will go ahead and open up more questions. Anyone else out there? Question, comment, concern, something you want to talk about, real estate, market research, broad investor deal analysis. Or I can go on to my announcement for the evening as well. So I can do that as well. All right.
I just
Yeah,
ask.
Dolores, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
I am great.
Good. Are you still doing the Saturday calls as well, or just the Wednesdays?
Both Wednesday and Saturday.
Okay,
Both Wednesday and
perfect.
Saturday.
I just want to make sure we were still on for both. And
Absolutely.
yes, I just want to say thank you for continuously improving the software and listening to us as investors. I am definitely spreading the word out here in my local community about BrightInvestor, just because I want to make sure that, as you're listening to us, we're getting more business for you as well. And so I just want to say thank you for continuing to do that.
That means a lot, seriously. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. We've just almost, it was January 1st, 2022 that we wrote the first line of code for Bright Investor. It's been 3 years. Geez, 3 years
Happy
of
anniversary.
3 years.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
We're a toddler now. So 3 years ago, we wrote the very first line of code, and it was just over a year and a half ago, we launched the first version. And, it was only, if you guys can recall, it was only 4 months ago that we added property data to Bright Investor. 4 months. That's it. It's only been that short of time that we added property data, skip tracing, sales comps, rent comps, deal analyzers, insurance estimates, property photos, linked properties. All of that was in the last 4 months, which is, I know, because now you guys are using that all the time. You're like, how did I ever use this before? Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Mhm.
That
So
makes
it's
sense why I
been,
felt so overrun. I've had a baby in that time as well. So it's just a lot happening all in 4 months.
yeah, you had another baby. That's true. Drew's doing a good job over there, having his second daughter. It's been a lot very quickly. And so we're happy to say that we're really focused this year finally at really growing our the Bright Investor family and working with other companies like real estate brokerages and lenders and property management companies to start making the power of Bright Investor something that everybody gets to benefit from. So thank you, Dolores. Sincerely, I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Jennifer, I'll call you out. Anything I can help you with this evening? I'm going to force some value your direction. Always love waiting to see. Oh, she's here. Okay, she unmuted. This is great.
Hi,
Jennifer, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great.
Yeah, no, I've been in the website a lot lately, even though I was sick for a few days and I couldn't really do anything. But no, I like the website and I like that you are adding these things, especially the crime button that I noticed there was like some data missing, and that's very
Hmm.
valuable as I'm looking and searching for properties. So I think you'll appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
The fun part about crime data is we get to navigate all these laws. Like, for example, we had St. Louis crime data when we first launched, and then they decided to stop giving the public access to it because they didn't want
Hmm.
people to know about it. And then
Right.
just recently, St. Louis started working with, had a change in the administration, and basically we got to work with them and turn it back on. So now we got it again, and it's upgraded now. So we get to navigate the fun intricacies of city level politics in 80,000 states, 80,000
That's
cities,
nice.
and get to work on. And that's why we really like this new crowdsource component, because it's like Jennifer calls in, hey, someone's breaking in over there. And maybe the local police department doesn't like sharing the information. Well, great. We can go ahead and, basically figure out our own way to get more crime data reported in more places. So
Yeah,
we're pretty pumped for that.
it's very valuable. Good things.
Absolutely. And Gerald, I'm going to go ahead and call you out. No, you already unmuted. Perfect. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Donato. Jarrell, Michael, I'm located south of Atlanta. Been a customer for about, I guess, about a year. Starting to use the software more. One question I did have, and you may have covered this in a previous call, though I do apologize. So like when you're in that search deal area, do you envision or think we'll be able to have the ability? I know you have the toggle for corporate owned to have individually owned like asset or property where you can filter.
Yes. Yes. Actually, that is something that we're working on alongside Chester's request for side by sides. So, absolutely, that's something we can do. So, basically, being able to exclude anything owned by an LLC.
Yeah, because some areas we'll try to target maybe just more, you know, mom and pop owners, that kind of thing like that. And just having that toggle make it much easier. Because right now we have to do it offline. We have to export the entire list and kind of go through it ourselves and filter it out. So we can do it on the front end with that toggle. That'll just speed up that process. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I'll,
Absolutely.
I'll throw this out there. Are there any other filters like that that would be valuable, like that you've been like, oh, I've had to do this manually?
Um, Yeah, I mean there are some, but it might get into like too specific. Like, but I think just being able to do that individual would be a great place to start.
Oh,
There's some things where, if we saw a certain type of transfer, like, like a trust transfer or intra-family or something like that, but that might be a bridge too far. But we could just filter out the corporate at a high level. That'd be a great place to start.
awesome.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Darrell, thank you for giving me that feedback. First off, I sincerely appreciate how long you've been with us as Bright Investor, and you've seen this from some early days. So I really appreciate it. And two, absolutely, we can get that in for you. Not a problem.
Awesome.
We'll go.
And you
I
all,
just
as
put
Kim said, just you all doing a great job. Really appreciate all the work with the software, and it's one of the best tools I've seen out there in terms of just having instead to go all these separate sites to do all of this stuff. So appreciate it.
absolutely. See, Drew wonders why I love hosting these sessions because I get to just help make the platform better. And more often than not, it's people saying, "Oh, Donato, this thing's great," and it just feeds me. Oh, it's awesome. And so Drew's over there like, "Man, I want to come get some. I want to come hear the people say that too."
Exactly what I'm on. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it's that means a lot. So, Darrell, I've got that in our board. We can I can't promise I'll get it in on this new release in a couple days, but on the next one that we have, which will probably be, a week or two after that, I'm pretty sure we can get that into on as a priority push, along with Chester's side by side filters.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Happy to help. I think I've hit everyone except Jason, my man. How you doing?
Not too bad. Sick over the holidays, so that sucked as well, but I'm good now. Um,
I hear that. It feels
I
like everyone got sick for a couple days. If everyone here took a second got some rest, actually chilled out for a second, and your body's just went, okay, great, let's go ahead and take you out for a week.
There's so many people around me still sick that I'm just trying to shelter at home and not get sick again.
Yeah, that's a smart play. We're here in the Midwest right now. I got about a foot of snow out there, and it's 8 degrees, so it's easy to stay inside right now.
That's probably a good thing.
Yes.
And the deal we looked
Absolutely.
at actually went contingent the other day, so I don't know what exactly happened with that. I'm still trying to figure that out. Um,
Okay.
it's really hard to find a deal by me that cash flows. So I'm
Mhm.
debating on possibly expanding my look where I'm looking a little more. I'm
Okay.
uncomfortable to do that honestly because I only have the one fourplex, but it worked
Mhm.
out so well and I'm happy with it that I just want to get the same thing, but I can't find it.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm happy to tell you, you actually have something that'll help you invest in other markets.
Oh, I
Um,
know.
yeah, absolutely. And no, I completely agree, man. Finding cash flow right now is exceptionally difficult. I know we talked here in these calls before. Most markets with multifamily residential properties that cash flow are older markets. So there are markets like Oregon, Seattle, Boise, Idaho, and Denver, where you're seeing a lot of brand new construction fourplexes and like eightplexes and tenplexes, which can work, but they're pretty much charging. I've seen those things charging $200,000 a unit, and renting for like $1,800, $1,900, or $2,000. So higher rent, higher cost. A lot of those fourplexes that are going to make sense for you are probably going to be Indianapolis, Cleveland, Columbus, Kansas City, St. Louis, Toledo. um Getting right, basically hit the Mississippi River and go north and south, and any metropolitan area around there is where you're really going to get those. They're usually going to be up to the 1960s, 70s, 80s, maybe, in older vintage properties are going to make sense. I can tell you from my experience, my personal rule of thumb is if I can buy a multifamily fourplex for $65,000 a door, that's my sweet spot.
That's
So
good to
like
know.
65K a door with $1,000 plus pro forma rents. That's where you want to be. Yeah, Detroit, Milwaukee, Madison, absolutely, Chester. So, like for example, I want to buy a fourplex for about $280,000 or $270,000. I think that's right about right. Yeah, fourplex for about $270,000 is where I can get rents to over $1,000. That's great. Even at today's rates, you should be able to cash flow over 1,200 to 1,500 bucks a month just at today's rates when you do numbers like that.
With
And
property
when
managers,
with property managers, that'll come down to right about 800 to 1,000, depending on your market.
that's
But
not
that's
horrible.
no. And like I'm looking like if I can get a Chester, I'm looking at duplexes shade over the 65K number. Yeah,
Oh,
telling you guys the 60 to $70,000 a unit number with $1,000 plus pro forma rents, that's where you want to be. That's the creme de la creme when it comes to your opportunities.
that sounds. I didn't plan on using property managers. I wanted to stay local and do it all myself, but I think I'm gonna have to get that out of my head because I can't find anything.
Yeah, it's been as soon as you can start playing real estate on a national level, it gets a lot easier to go to the places that other people just don't know about and to start being able to pick things up. Actually, I have there's a BrightInvestor. She's not here tonight, Sarah. She is in New York, and we've been able to get her making some offers in Central Missouri for that exact reason. She's looking for something that she can start building her portfolio out there, and it just takes a little bit of expanding the buy box to make that happen.
I'm gonna have to start looking into that. And then the other issue is obviously getting boots on the ground where you look to
Yep.
invest in is the bigger
Yeah.
problem in my eyes.
That's a good segue. I'm going to use that as a segue into this announcement. So, for the last couple months, as we've been building the next version of Bright Investor, as we've been releasing new things, you guys have heard me tease out that I've been working with people one on one for basically helping them get to where they need to go. And I demoed this with a couple of BrightInvestor users as like a soft launch. And I'll pick on Sarah here, who's not here. I'll have to text her. I don't know why she's here tonight. But she is a BrightInvestor user that went from had not bought my first property to we've got her financing. We have gotten her an out-of-state, boots on the ground contractor who is doing house inspections for her for free, who is giving her rehab estimates for free, who is going to auctions on her behalf for free and bidding on properties for her using her financing partner's money to make the offers. And she has a property right now that we're making an offer on that'll be $5,000 left in the deal for $70,000 worth of equity in 3 months.
Wow, it's incredible.
So I have been soft launching this component of helping BrightInvestors not only use the platform effectively, but go and put it into action to use that out-of-state investing, even when she is, half a country away. And so I'm happy tonight to announce that we are officially launching BrightInvestor Diamond. BrightInvestor Diamond is a program that is exclusively for BrightInvestor users as a service to basically take what you're doing and turbocharge it. And working one-on-one with me to do the same thing that I'm doing with other BrightInvestors right now and going out and actually building that out-of-market team with financing, with boots on the ground, with property management, with BRRRRs, with flips, anywhere in the US to go out there and actually start using this in a way that maybe you wouldn't be comfortable with doing it yourself. And I'm only doing this because I've been working on it for about 3 months and I've seen people have success with it. And officially tonight, we are launching it. So if that's something that you want to learn more about, I'm going to put the link down below. It is something that it is a one-on-one, basically working with me for right around 2 to 3 months. And it does also work with, I'm going to be supporting you one-on-one for a year straight through calls and texts. It's pretty much unlimited talking to me and working with me to get you through everything you need to be doing over the next year. That is why I'm only working with of the couple hundred or I don't know, a couple hundred or BrightInvestors that are going to get this email. I can only work with 5 people to do this. I'm going to put the link here. Drew, if you have the link, you can put it here first because I don't always know what I'm doing. I know I'm CEO, but I don't want the smartest tool in the shed. See if I have it here or not. But the first 5 people that want to follow on and do this are going to get access to it. The link is right there now in the chat. You can check it out, brianinvestor.com/diamond. It is essentially my way of helping people who are getting value and who are using BrightInvestor and they need a way to continue to actually put these things into action and pouring myself into even more so. So super excited to announce that. We'll be sending an email out for this to everyone, I believe tomorrow, the next couple of days, announcing it to the wider variety. But of course, for you guys for being here at these office hours, you get the first crack at it. I think there's about 10 of us in here right now, 9 or 10 of us in here. So you guys, of course, get first crack at learning what BrightInvestor Diamond does and how we do it. But essentially, I want people to keep buying real estate, even in today's markets, even in today's interest rates. And this is something that we've been working on that's going to be as powerful, as cost effective as we can possibly make it, putting it all together into one place. If you have any questions about it, I'm happy to answer them right now. You can always email me at donato@brightinvestor.com and ask questions about it, about what we're doing. Jason, the cost is a one-time for $34.97. And that's on the website itself. You can go ahead and open up that link. We're only opening it up to 5 people. I don't know if we'll do it again. I'm working with these people for up to a year, so I'm not sure if we'll be at a point next year where I'll have the time to do it again. So I unfortunately can't guarantee this will be an annual thing. We'll be opening up every time. All I can do is right now say that these 5 people will be able to work through BrightInvestor Diamond.
Donato, that definitely sounds awesome. So I'll take a look at that after because I had a couple of questions is when you were mentioning and referencing about uh the contractors in like local areas.
Yep.
One of the things that I was thinking about in terms of remote property management, like almost to try to make it a connection hub, so to speak, if you will, from like literally from acquisition all the way through to um maybe not necessarily disposition, but maybe through like, the operations and sustainment phase. Thinking about um in working with uh Dana from Hemlane.
Mm,
I know she was and there I know there's like a few other different if you want to call it virtual property management software platforms, but more curious than anything whether or not and this could be something that could be coming, but just kind of just wanting to ask, like, do you think that there may be any opportunities for partnerships from that sort of um like similar along the lines of like the Steadilies and the
mhm.
Rentcast and Rentometer type of deal?
Yeah, so what I can tell you is I'm actively pursuing a partnership right now for debt. So you guys have asked, well, how do I get money for some of these deals sometimes? And how do I get the most investor-friendly people? So I actually have a meeting with them 2 weeks from now. I'm presenting to 200 people in my meeting. There is a mortgage broker that is known for working with investors, and they basically have access to about 250 nationwide lenders. And we are in the early stages of basically making it that any time that you log into BrightInvestor, and just like Paulina or Jennifer, or Dolores, you're popping open the deal analyzer, adding in a button that says "Get Pre-Approved," and you click that button, and it asks you a couple questions like your credit score and your email, and then it sends that deal to this lender, who then instantly quotes
Nice.
that property for you.
That is
And that's
awesome.
for conventional loans, hard money loans, DSCR loans, jumbo loans, commercial loans. So we're in the early stages of that, where not only can you buy an insurance policy for a deal, but you can get your funding for a deal right there as well. So that's something that we're working on. And then, Chester, to answer the property management question, the PM component is the next logical space for that. Same thing with contractors. So those are larger, longer term build outs that we're working on, but that is the direction that we intend to go, so that you'll be able to basically have those tools right there for you.
Nice. Yeah, that would definitely be awesome. Because that's one of those things where thinking about from the front end, like literally everything is right here in the app, and then almost as just like a smooth handoff or transition, if you will. You know what I mean? Like it's like you find the property, you get everything that you need so that you can keep taking those steps basically to be able to close, get the tenant in, and then be able to you know efficiently manage the property. And then, of course, while you're still in the app, you can still start looking for additional properties. So yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking, almost kind of like a almost full circle type of one-stop shop app.
Yeah, and I can't guarantee that we'll go the full gamut. Um, Part of our development has been making sure that we do one thing really, really well, and making that really effective. And so we're going to push that to where we know we can keep delivering high value. But you can absolutely, I think everyone here knows and has seen at this point that we're going to continue hearing your guys' feedback. We're going to continue iterating BrightInvestor to a point where it's just the absolute no-brainer every single time. And not only does it get the job done, but it gets it done fast, easy, and conveniently.
Awesome. Yeah, no, but that definitely makes sense. So definitely excited. Like I said, definitely awesome job that you guys are doing, and very excited to see, as especially with the BrightInvestor Diamond, is all kinds of value that you guys are providing. So this, yeah, this is definitely awesome.
Thank you, brother. It's been awesome to put together. We're hoping to help a lot more folks. And it's cool because not only do I get to meet you guys here, but be able to take people to the next phase and, go out and watch them win bids and find people who I just used this analysis yesterday for another person who's been testing BrightInvestor Diamond for me for a little bit. So many people are in the analysis paralysis desert. And
Yeah.
this client, this BrightInvestor user, uh, we have been spending all this time together, getting it to the point where they have the team, they have the money, they have the contractor, they have the PM, they have they have everything ready to go, and we have this deal putting together, and we're making the offer. And I watched the
Nice.
fear on their face, that fear of I'm actually going to take money and go make an offer on this property in a state I don't live in, and they were terrified.
Oh, wow.
And that's the moment when I got to look at them and say, right now, you are standing at the end of the analysis paralysis desert. You have crossed it through blazing nights and hot sand. You've actually crossed the desert. You're at the water, and the ship is right there, ready to take you to that first deal. And this is that moment where literally millions of people look at that ship, look at the unknown, and turn right back around to keep wandering in the desert.
Wow.
My goal with Bright Investor Diamond is to help people cross that desert. And when they finally get to that ocean front, to step in that ship and make that offer and do that next offer, then I can be there
Yeah.
to push you on board and help you actually get to that next phase of your journey. I want to get you out of the desert with Bright Investor Diamond. That's why I'm here. And that's what's really, really exciting for me because now they have two properties they're offering on.
That is
So,
awesome.
yeah, I'm pretty pumped for this. Jason, when will the diamond start? It will be starting pretty much as soon as we fill the 5 seats. So as soon as we sign up with Bright Investor Diamond, you instantly get your link. Meaning you have a link, you have contact information, and we start as soon as the following week to start getting you through the getting you through. So pretty much when you're ready to start walking across that desert, getting the ship, I'm going to be there to help. Only thing that has to happen is you decide you want to do it. But as soon as you're ready, we're going to start up.
Nice. Yeah, definitely very cool. So, oh, I don't know if you have some guests that are over tonight, so I don't know if you heard like in the background, if you hear any background noise. I was gonna ask about the uh in Vegas next month, the one rental at a time.
Yes.
Are you either you or Drew planning to make it to that event?
I may potentially. Drew may be able to as well. I know we're hosting a webinar for One Rental at a Time next week. We'll be posting that
Nice.
link again, that school community here shortly. So we'll be doing that. And then Vegas is definitely it's an option. I'm not sure yet. We have a couple different things that are in the works right now. And if Drew's wife is open to leaving her alone with the 3-month-old and the 1.5-year-old, he might get lucky. He might get lucky and get to go.
It's only
We'll
for a
see.
couple of days, Drew. So,
Yep.
you know.
Oh, I want to go. I'm a big extrovert.
Yeah, Drew loves events. Anytime we can get him in front of a crowd of people, he's happy to be there. So we'll see what we can do.
Okay. Yeah, I remember last year it was either 300 or 400 people. But like it was like the setting of it was just the best way to kind of describe it, like there were a lot of speakers. The one good thing, there was no selling. That was the one thing I think, like, I had not been to like large events similar to that. Uh and it was just like, you know, everybody was just there, talking about either getting a deal, getting started, or it was just completely
That's
um
awesome.
yeah, it was motivational, I guess is the best word, but like yeah, it was just really great.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I know it's a pretty cool community, and I'm glad to be able to be part of it, and be active where I can. So sounds really cool.
Yeah, so definitely good stuff. Yeah, so like I said, this and I know I'm sure even though we tell you all the time, Drew now gets to kind of hear it as well. I like I said, I love it. I know everybody else loves it. I'm trying to get my cousin who like he's been talking about wanting to get into real estate. I'm like, I have told him about Bright Investor, but I want him to see it because I know once he sees it, he's going to, be hooked if you want to call it that. Like he is as gung ho or adamant about it. So like I am like a what do you call it? Evangelist, is that the right word? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody, I'm like, dude, you got to check out Bright Investor. Hey, man, let me show you. Yeah, you might, oh, prop stream. Oh, hey, check this one out. It's called Bright
Yeah.
Investor. It's a little bit different, but I think you'll like it a little bit better. So yeah, that's me, man. I
Thank
love it.
you.
I tell everybody about it, man.
Thank you, brother. Seriously, this has been, I've said it before. I'll say it again. This has been the most rewarding and most challenging thing of, Drew and I's our lives. From meeting randomly on Facebook. That's how we met. It's how Bright Investor was born, guys. Strangers commenting on each other's posts on Facebook. So, who says stranger danger matters? That's how Bright Investor was born, and we've been fortunate to be able to bring this together. So it has been something that we are really excited to see what 2025 brings. Potentially the highly coveted mobile version of Bright Investor. Well, who knows? We'll see.
Nice.
Highly coveted. Um, we have a lot of fun things coming, and our goal this year is to keep growing and can make it even better year 3 than year 2. So with that, I want to say thank you guys all so much for being here at this first Bright Investor Office Hours of 2025. As always, we'll have our next one on Saturday, and I really appreciate you guys being here. As a reminder, we will keep doing these. These are available to Bright Investor users and to your friends, family, or colleagues that you'd love to get introduced to the platform. Fully open, and the Bright Investor Diamond offer is now live, and that email will not be sent out to everyone else until tomorrow about midday. And at that point, we'll get started with everybody once, when, and if they elect to become Bright Investor Diamond members. So, Jennifer, I saw you unmuted for a second.
No, you said it seems like you're gonna wrap it up, so I wanted to say good night before I go.
Oh, absolutely. Hope you feel better as well.
Thank
Please
you.
get better, and hopefully, you can get recuperated and heal. So, with that, guys, thank you so much. We'll get this recording out as soon as possible. Thanks for being here, and let's make it an awesome 2025.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Donato.
Bye.
You
See you
got it.
guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.